In this tutorial, let's understand how to use the pivot table. Now, pivot table is extremely powerful tool, and for sure, if you apply for a finance job, one of the questions they'll ask is, do you know how to do pivot table? Now, pivot table is very important and very useful when you're doing analysis. So if you're doing business analysis or financial analysis work, you need to be extremely good with pivot table. Okay. Now, in this example, we have few columns, right? And we have few rows here. So let's understand what is this table all about. So I have date, data entered by, and data accounts payable clerk's name, and I have supervised by the manager's name. I have the customer or supplier's name and the amount paid. Okay, now let's insert a pivot table now. So what I'm doing is I'm first selecting the data, right? And then I'm going to insert pivot table, right? And then it will ask you the range for the pivot table. I've already selected it. And then it'll ask me, do I want the pivot table in the new sheet or existing worksheet? So for this example, let's say new sheet, so that it'll be nice for our analysis purposes. So you see, this is the pivot table information. I click new worksheet, I say OK. You see the new sheet here. So this is the information, that's the new sheet. Now what I want is, let's say I want to analyze the data by the supervisor's name. Okay. Yep, I got these three supervisors, Jeremy, Krish, and Scott. And what I want is the amounts, right? You see the amounts here. Okay. So out of $35,000, Jeremy has supervised 5,600. Krish has supervised 14,800. Scott has supervised 14,750. Okay, that's basic information. What I want is I also want to know the accounts payable clerk's name, who entered it. So I'm going to say data entered by. Right. Okay, so Jeremy has supervised $5,600, out of which Harry's work was worth of $3,400. Tom's work was worth of $2,100, totaling to 5,600. You see? Now, you know what I want? I want to drill it down to see who are the suppliers they've entered. Like what are the suppliers and how much amounts for each suppliers? What? I'm going to go memo and payee, and let's say to the column heading. There you go. So here you can notice that Jeremy has supervised $63,000 worth of cash purchases entered by Harry. You see how powerful it is? We're drilling it more and more and more. Okay. Now Krish has supervised $2,800 worth of clear and bright supplier payments entered by Daniel. You see how powerful it is? You know what I want to do? I want to know even the dates now. So I'm going to click it, drag it, and let go in this row label. You see? So on 25th, right, on 25th for Red Cross, Harry entered this entry, and that was entered by Jeremy. You see this? How powerful this tool can be. So if you want to drill it down, you can just play with these items and feel free to put the dates here and see what happens. Put the date here and see what happens. It's just the analysis of data. Okay, and very good thing is this, the original field, that doesn't get distorted. That will just remain as it is, and we're playing in a new sheet. Okay, so this is the pivot table. If you don't want to see this, just click this cross arrow and you can just see the information on a full scale. If you want to put the pivot table again, you go to you go to options and field list. Okay, that's how you would make the pivot table appear again. If you don't want the date, just take the date out. Or sometimes what you can do is, you see the filter as you've learned in the previous tutorial. In filter, you can actually click this filter and say, I only want to see Krish's supervision work. So I say yes and say OK. So here I would say I just want to see cash purchases, not all of it. just cash purchases and say okay. So Krish has looked after $250 worth of cash purchases only entered by Daniel. So there's no other accounts clerk have entered cash purchases which is supervised by Krish. You see, you can drill it down as much as you want, or as high level as you want, as you low level as you want. Okay, so what I would recommend is do your own spreadsheet with the simple columns and just put some numbers in it, and just do by playing with pivot tables. The more practice you do, the better you get at it.